We're just a military family living in Texas and got pregnant young. We came back here for a baby shower actually, and I ended up staying here. We had a pretty healthy pregnancy through it all. Everything was totally normal until 35 weeks on the dot.
I remember my husband and I took her to the airport. She was to get on a plane and go home. And we got to the airport and she just broke down and she said, "Mom, there is something wrong and I can't leave. I can't go home."
I found my OB here and they couldn't find her stomach on ultrasound. I was transported to Riverbend and I saw the maternal fetal medicine doctor, Dr. Clausen, and she confirmed that she found her stomach eventually. It was just extremely small because it had never seen any fluid in it like normal babies. That was the first time that we had found out that there was something wrong.
She said, "Your baby is in fetal distress and we're gonna have to do an emergency cesarean."
I was still in San Antonio and Taylor was here in Oregon. I got a call from Taylor saying that she was being emergency transported to Riverbend. My plane landed in Eugene. I didn't grab any of my checked bags. I got into the hospital and got up to the room, and it's basically about 5 minutes after I walked into that room, her doctor stepped in and told me to scrub up, and we're about to have our daughter.
Had an emergency C-section that night at 10:30. Our first diagnosis was the esophageal atresia.
It was just so chaotic for us because we still didn't know what exactly was going on. I don't think it was really until maybe a couple weeks after being there is when we kind of started to understand more and get a grasp on what exactly was going on and kind of unfog our brains a little bit.
Fynnley is extremely special because her difficulties in life stemmed from the fact that her esophagus wasn't connected to her stomach. Whenever you have something like esophageal atresia, it's not ever alone. There's other parts of her body that you expect would be altered in the way that they form. The term I think that people throw around, vacteral, which is VACTERL.
There was issues with her airway. She had a tethered spinal cord and an anal rectal malformation. She had issues with her kidneys. She also has a heart defect.
What I try and impress upon families is that for this kind of problem, it's a relationship, because this can be a long, ongoing relationship of interactions, medical care over multiple operations that can last, a few years or more.
She's had 19 surgeries. Every single time as a parent, you have to kind of face that is, she might not make it through this.
There's just a lot of stuff that goes through your minds when you find out all this stuff about your child. How will she live a normal life? Will she be able to eat normally? And will she be able to use the restroom normally?
You want to take that pain away from your children and you can't, and the only thing that you can do for them is provide them stability and love and faith that they'll get through this.
I will fight for you. I always do until my heart is black and blue. And I will stay.
Fynnley's kind of a spitfire. She never really lets anything stop her or get her down.
Fynnley is the sassiest little blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby girl that you will ever meet. Fynnley loves to play with the dogs. She loves the goats. She loves to go feed the chickens, or the bok-boks as she would call them. She always makes you laugh, and she's just about the best thing out there.
Working in a place like Riverbend, where we have support of the Children's Miracle Network, where we have surgeons, where we have high-risk OBs, and we deal with all of the time the rare exceptions of what's not normal. Thankfully, we have financial support in our community that so generously donates to the Children's Miracle Network. I mean, these people are ingrained throughout our society and in our community in a way that it's not a secret word. They're heroes. These people are heroes to us.
The Children's Miracle Network, throughout our process of Fynnley being in and out of the hospital so much, has truly been amazing, and they were always there for us when we needed them. The nurses, the doctors, the surgeons, everybody there at Riverbend are amazing. They have the best hospital staff up there on the NICU floor, in my opinion.
I never thought that we would be a part of the Children's Miracle Network. I think that we always take for granted healthy children. When you're finally a part of the Children's Miracle Network, you really realize how much they help, and I would never take that for granted again.
It now gives us the opportunity to share our story to other families that are out there who may think that it's impossible to make it through this.
I think her future is unlimited. That's what's beautiful about this. She's had so many complications and surgeries, and yet at the same time, she's beautiful, she's outstanding, she's developing, she's happy. I think the sky's the limit for her. Dream big, little girl, because nothing's holding you back.
I always do until my heart is black and blue.